All right, so the battle for Dunmore is over. Magnus? Defeated. His Dark Lotus cronies? Gone. But here's the thing about victory. Just when you think you can finally breathe, a whole new kind of war kicks off. And this one isn't fought with swords. And you can feel it right inside the Amber Flask Tavern. You'd think it would be a huge celebration, right? Nope. The mood is tense. Our heroes, the Gnoll's Bane, are being watched. Turns out, winning the battle painted a massive target on their backs. This new fight, it's all about perception. So let's talk about the price of victory. How do you go from dealing with rumors to earning respect? I mean, how do you even fight a rumor? The Gnoll's Bane is about to find out. They're stuck navigating this super tricky social landscape where the town sees them as saviors, yeah, but also maybe as the next big threat. They've got to turn that suspicion into solid support and fast. And this really gets to the heart of the problem. On one side, you have what the rumors are saying, that these guys just want to step into Magnus's shoes and take all his power, that they're after the mill's wealth. See, Martha, the tavern owner, she pulled Thane aside and told him what people were whispering. And you know how fast lies can travel. But on the other side, we see what their actions proved, that they were there to help. And Thane, he had a solution that was simple, powerful, and didn't require a single word. He just took 5 gold bars from Magnus's stash, we're talking 500 coin here, and put them right into Martha's hands. His instructions were super simple. Get this to the mill workers for supplies, for aid, for whatever they need. There was no big speech, no fanfare, just a quiet, powerful action. And just like that, the rumors just died. Gone. Okay, so with their reputation in Dunmore finally on solid ground, the party gets down to business. Time to prep for the road ahead. And this is where you see them operate like a well-oiled machine. Talonor, he gets 200 silvered arrowheads made. Okazaki stocks up on scrolls, firebolt, shocking grasp, you name it. He even gets a free scroll of invisibility from a super grateful shopkeeper. Cedric finds the diamonds he needs for his clerical duties. And Thane, ever the planner, gets all their supplies sorted at the Hunter's Haven. This isn't some frantic last-minute scramble. This is just pure, quiet efficiency. These guys are pros. And here's a little moment that shows you just how much things have changed. It's about respect, not charity. When Talonor goes to pick up those arrowheads, which he'd asked for on a rush order, mind you, the blacksmith actually gives him back 15 gold. It's not about squeezing every coin out of the adventurers anymore. The town doesn't see them as a walking purse. They see them as protectors. They've earned that respect. All right, a forest of bone, a journey into silence. The party leaves Dunmore, no big goodbyes or ceremony. The challenges of the city, of politics and rumors are behind them. But what's waiting for them in the Amber Forest? Well, that's a much older, much darker kind of danger. So this 2-day journey is anything but a walk in the park. They depart Dunmore, and by the first night, they're already being tested. A pack of these skinny, desperate-looking wolves starts harassing their camp. It's a bad sign, a sign that the wilderness itself is on edge. It feels like a preview, a little taste of the hunger and aggression that's just waiting for them when they reach the forest proper. And then they arrive. As they step under the tree line at dusk, everything just stops. You know that constant hum of a forest? The birds, the bugs, the wind rustling leaves? It's just gone, replaced by this heavy, oppressive silence that feels completely unnatural. And up ahead, there's this weird clearing, filled with a low-lying fog. It feels wrong. Everything about it feels wrong. And then they see it, the first hint of the real horror here. And it's small. A squirrel, just a normal squirrel, darts out into that foggy clearing. And the ground itself just reacts. A skeletal hand bursts out of the dirt, snatches the poor thing, and yanks it screaming underground. And then silence again. The ground is perfectly still, as if nothing happened. So now they're faced with this dilemma, a huge tactical choice. The quickest way forward is straight through that clearing. But they know what's under there now. They could go around, but that detour could cost them more than half a day. So what do you do? Do you face the danger you can see, or do you risk losing precious time to whatever's waiting for you down the longer path? It's a tough call. Not willing to risk it blind, Talonor comes up with a test. It's intense. First, he summons this massive owlbear. Second, he sends it charging right into the clearing. The thing makes it, 30 feet? And then the ground just explodes. It's not one hand this time. It's dozens. A whole swarm of skeletons just erupts from the soil and swarms the owlbear, tearing the poor creature apart in seconds. It's a complete frenzy of bone and fury. They counted over 30 of them, 30 plus. So, yeah, this isn't just a couple of undead guards. This is a buried army, an ambush lying just inches under the dirt. The test worked, for sure. They now know what they're up against. And the results is absolutely horrifying. The debate about what to do next kicks off immediately, as you can imagine. And this brings us to one fiery question with an unexpected answer. While everyone else is arguing about tactics, detours, and timing, Calypso, who's been totally quiet this whole time, she just raises her hand. And with one word, she ends the debate. In fact, she answers the debate with pure, overwhelming force. A tiny bead of light flies from her finger, and then, boom, the entire clearing just vanishes in light and heat. A fireball erupts right in the middle of them, and everything, the fog, the skeletons, the ground itself, is just incinerated. When the light fades, there's just nothing. The bone has turned to ash. The entire skeletal ambush is gone, literally reduced to dust that's now drifting down through the fog like this creepy, gentle snow. And that heavy, unnatural silence comes rushing back in. The only sound is probably the jaws of her friends hitting the floor. They had no idea she could do something like that. I mean, what an incredible moment, right? Total triumph. One spell, one person wipes out an entire army. But, and this is a huge but, look at this. That was one of two. She has one fireball spell left. And that right there is the brutal math of being an adventurer. You can have this incredible problem-solving power, but it's finite. Using it here, as amazing as it was, leaves them way more vulnerable for whatever comes next. And that's the thought that hangs in the air, isn't it? They won the battle of this clearing, but the Amber Forest is huge. As they're standing there, looking at the ash-covered ground and into the silent woods beyond, you just know the question on all of their minds is the one we're left with. How many more hands are just waiting beneath the soil?